Cooperative College was established since 1943. We are progressing, we are moving, cause we are standing on the rock of ages. We are spreading cooperative education. We are leaders, we are the best. We are spreading cooperative education. We are leaders, we are the best. Cooperative, cooperative, cooperators. Cooperative, cooperative, cooperators. We never lag, cause we're established to solve social common interests of the people. We are boomers advocator. We are leaders, we are the best. We are boomers advocator. We are leaders, we are the best. Cooperative, cooperative, cooperators. Cooperative, cooperative, cooperators. On sound education we are established. We say no to atrocities.
Cooperative here, cooperative there, cooperative everywhere. It is with immense pleasure and deep sense of responsibility that I welcome you to the Federal Cooperative College, Ibadan, the cradle of cooperative education in Nigeria. As we host this landmark Southwest Cooperative Stakeholders Forum. The forum is under the renewed Cooperative Reform and Revamp and National Training Workshop for Trustees, Management Committees, and Managers of Cooperative Societies in Nigeria. This event is not only timely, but also significant, coming at a time period when our nation is seeking sustainable pathway for economic growth, inclusive development, and institutional reforms. The renewed hope agenda of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, His Excellency the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, GCFR, represents a bold step towards reinvigorating the cooperative sector. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, through the Honorable Minister of State, has demonstrated visionary leadership in conceptualizing this program. We are particularly honored to be entrusted with the responsibility of hosting this national event here in Ibadan. And as a college, we do not take this gesture for granted. May I also commend the various cooperative leaders, resource persons, and participants who have traveled from far and near to be here. It is gratifying to note that the all-inclusive nature of participants in this training program serves as an indicator of the determination of the federal government to change the narrative as it concerns cooperative societies and its contributions to growth and development of Nigerian economy.
Let me remind everyone that the President Review Hope Agenda for the subsector focuses on enhancing food security, creating jobs, improving social and economic development through the cooperative societies, and ultimately creating inclusivity and prosperity for all. As a special guest of honor at today's event, my role is straightforward: to deliver a keynote address and serve as the lead panelist and speaker at the series with stakeholders. This workshop is designed for the trustees, management committee, and managers of cooperative societies in Nigeria. Specifically, the opportunity for the cooperative stakeholders to interact with me directly on the reform program that we are developing. We have completed the Northern Axis, which was held at the Federal Cooperative College, Kaduna, and we also were in the Southeast and South-South in Cooperative College, Oji River, and we are here today in the Southwest at the Federal Cooperative College, Ibadan. Looking ahead, we also plan to organize the National Cooperative Summit on renewed hope for food security in Abuja before. I don't want to give time, because sometimes when you give time, journalists will come asking you, so time. But immediately we finish this program, there is a team that is going for a study tour of the cooperative sector in Kenya. When they return, the experience from that and everything we have gathered in country here we inform a robust idea that will be taken to this national summit, where we will discuss and come out with what is our own reform agenda, so that we can get the necessary approvals from our president. Additionally, we are preparing to celebrate the UN International Year of Cooperatives with a week-long event in Nigeria before the year ends. And so maybe this summit and the other activities that we may be organizing can be put together so that we can bring cooperative to the front burner of our national discourse. In addressing you today, permit me to go down a little bit of memory lane, giving some fundamental historical facts about cooperatives internationally and in our local context, for you to know why we are deliberate and intentional about revitalizing the cooperative subsector in Nigeria. Cooperatives are a global phenomenon. They are a tested, trusted, and proven way of doing business and building communities. At the global level, the cooperative business model is known as a viable alternative business model to the secular business model owned by the capitalists, who are all out for profit maximization to its investors only. However, the cooperative business model remains a socio-economic and cultural response to the need and aspiration of all the stakeholders, from the board, officers, and members to the employees, the customer and suppliers, the environment, the community it operates, and the future generations, as well as the investors. It is a business enterprise that runs for the benefit of all, which reflects in their slogan, each for all for each. Now, having said all of this, it's my singular honor and privilege to formally declare this workshop as stakeholder engagement for trustees, management committee, and managers of cooperative societies in Nigeria for the Southwest Cooperative Stakeholders Forum. I formally declare it open to the glory of God and for the benefit of all our Nigerian citizens and professionals.
Cause we are leaders of tomorrow. We are making everybody united. We are empowering our youth. We are making everybody united. We are empowering our youth. Cooperative, cooperative, cooperators. Cooperative, cooperative, cooperators. Cooperative, cooperative, cooperators. Cooperative, cooperative, cooperators.
What we are here to do is to get feedback from the states. As we do this reform, what are the issues you want us to take note of based on your experience? And areas where you want us to focus on, or issues that you want us to try to make sure are addressed as we reform the cooperative sector. Because your operators are also on the field, and your feedback will be valued in terms of what we do going forward. So I think that is basically what this segment is all about. So we're going to take each of the states, the director of cooperative with the relevant president and any other stakeholder, so we can ask us questions, and then we'll try to engage each other to clarify issues and understand the issues together.
Our state is the cradle of cooperative societies in Nigeria. And at the moment, in our database, we have over 26,000 registered cooperative societies. Some have gone moribundo, but functioning cooperative societies in the state, we have over 10,000. The history goes us, and cooperative in Oyo State goes us. In Oyo State, we have what is called departmental cooperative societies. Those are cooperative societies in structured environments, in organizations, corporate outfits and the likes, civil service and the likes. And we have the orthodox cooperative societies. Those are the grassroots cooperative societies. Cooperative societies among artisans, pepper sellers, grassroots people. But most importantly, we have more of the orthodox cooperative societies in Oyo State. The number one challenge we have in Oyo State is the fact that we need to revisit the cooperative law. We need an enabling law, because the challenges we've been facing so far, most especially in the issue of dispute conflict resolution, we need an enabling law for prosecution, number one. Then number two, training and retraining of our cooperative societies. The Oyo State government is trying our best, though, because of the fact that our cooperative societies are majorly orthodox cooperative societies. Most of them are not really literate people. So we find it difficult to introduce digital form of cooperative to them. And thirdly, we've been fighting it, and by the will of Allah, we are succeeding. We don't want Oyo State to be a hub for miscreants, dupers, people of questionable character. So in the process of registering cooperative society, we make sure that we adhere strictly to the dictates of the law. In a nutshell, we operate under the ambit of the law. Because we discovered that, like my honorable minister said, the economy, the cooperative societies is the surviving and the only option that most people have, most especially when there is any form of either natural disaster or economic issue. For instance, let's take the period of COVID. During COVID, Your Honor, sir, cooperative societies in Oyo State were able to survive the tsunami, and we were able to rescue our people. We had little or no challenge during COVID. In that wise, we want a situation whereby there should be enough publicity, whereby people will not misconstrue or see cooperative as an avenue to dupe innocent people of the states. We've been fighting it, but we want it to come from the federal level.
First and foremost, sir, we will appreciate if the law can be amended in such a way that the cooperative sector will be in a ministry, so that it won't be under any ministry, because we've been having serious issues with, if you match cooperative with other ministries, we have a lot of issues, and I'm sure all the ministries, yes, all the states here can attest to that. So it would be nice for the cooperative movement to have a cooperative ministry on its own, so that we can be able to understand what we are doing and how to do it. When we are as we are now. Anyway, it's been taken. So that I wouldn't have much of political interference. Then also, I believe that we should have something like fraud units. It may not be units. Fraud enforcement, like a section that when this fraud arises, we have a place to go to. Yes, fraud prevention and management. So that when there are issues, because there are a lot of cases that people will just take people's money and they feel they can go away with it, and they've been going away with it. So if we have these units and we are able to take one or two people as scapegoats, I believe they want to stop this. Then also, we've been having issues with the federal government in terms of deduction, and like the IPIS. Yes. So there are issues. The minister should please try and help us with that, because we have a lot on our cooperative society's account, unlimited deduction running into millions of naira, billions of naira. And also in the law, I know we are reviewing the law. I want to thank you for that, because for the first time, when I was called to join the committee, the technical committee, I was thrilled. And the way we worked is like we worked throughout the night, throughout the day, and everything. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I hope that it won't stop there. We're going to get to the top of it, because we have the law we have now is obsolete, and people are taking chances of that because we don't have any law. And so by the time we are through with that, I'm sure we'll be able to go to greater heights. And apart from that, the penalties must be strict, sir. Because in a case where, like Lagos now, if you say, okay, somebody has defrauded, and you are asking, if the penalty is asking the person, defaulter, to pay even 500,000, they will quickly pay it. 500,000 they will pay it. But the money they have embezzled is more than that. So we want stricter penalties. And apart from the penalties, there should be enforcement. That's the problem we have in Lagos. Enforcement. The law is there. The penalties are there. But there is no enforcement. So if that is coming from the federal, then we'll be able to imbibe it at the state level. Then also, sir, there is something that we've been looking at, which is shares exchange. We're looking at where cooperators, most of the cooperative societies funds are in banks, resting there. They are losing their money. I'm glad that the cooperative bank is coming up by the special grace of Allah. Number one, then even shares too. We should be able to do something that the shares should be pulled together among ourselves, as in the cooperative societies. Cooperative societies will come together to pull the shares and trade within themselves. Nobody else, no one else apart from a cooperative society will be allowed to trade in such platform. And this should be recognized and registered by the SEC.
Ogun State. In Ogun State, we are operating with about 14,500 cooperative societies. Our cooperative societies law and regulation is no problem. But the problem we are having is the issue from these commercial entities like banks asking for things that the law did not ask cooperative to present. I think it's a kind of misconception among all these entities. For example, they will ask for special control unit against anti-laundering documents. They ask for TIN number when the law says cooperative should not pay tax. There is a kind of some manipulative registration. I can't blame the CAC, but some cooperators or uncooperative members, they go to CAC using abbreviation. If you can consult the registrar of corporate affairs commission, so that in cooperative we don't register society with abbreviation, so that we don't go and deceive people. For example, they can say Orelope CMU. Actually, it's a private entity registered by CAC. That person will be going around deceiving people. Also, the CBN, I don't believe from what the knowledge I have in cooperative. Cooperative is not being regulated by Central Bank of Nigeria. We are under Cooperative Act. But in most situations, these banks will say we should go and bring CAC certificate. Even when the cooperatives are tendering their registration certificate. And this is a very serious matter. It has been creating a kind of embarrassment. Sir, I want to commend you. Though I've been watching you on television when you are senator, but today I can see that there's no difference from the functional something and now. You are trying to and you show that you are one of the people and you go beyond this level in Jesus' name. Now, the National Council of Cooperative Affairs should be convened. This is a statutory provision in the Cooperative Act, and there is where you can really put the Renew Hope Cooperative Reform. You cook it with necessary ingredients so that you pattern the body system of the cooperative. Ogun State, we are also on the issue of banks that you mentioned, sir, that we are working on. It has been a serious problem that the government, the cooperative movement, they work together that we must have our own bank, because cooperators, we are parallel line with the capitalists, and you say we will be working with these commercial banks, it means we will be exploited by these capitalists that we are trying to fight. We are trying to fight the exploitative tendency. So last year, the Oscar Cooperative Federation, through the Aliyu I mentioned and the state government sponsor the principal officers of the ministry, and the federation sponsor their members to Germany to go and study their banking system there. I was there. It was a very interesting occasion that if we can buy that system here, if federal government can take it up and make sure we send our people there to study their system there, the cooperative is actually doing what the commercial banks are doing. The cooperative banks, they have cooperative banks like Post Bank, Mitisen, and other banks like that. So please, sir, if you can work on that, even if you can invite the president of the federation that facilitated the Aliyu, it will be very good for the cooperative movement. Then this one has not occurred in our states, but we've overheard in some states, I'm not mentioning a particular state, where a senior officer, we have director of cooperative services, not to sign a certificate of registration because of their position. They want to sign it, and it's a violation of the cooperative law, no matter the position of anybody, whether whoever you may be. If you don't follow what the law says, it means that person is violating the law. And as civil servant, you do not want to push it further because it can backfire. But if we can work on that, maybe through our consultative program, through the National Council of Cooperative Affairs.
Osun State is a model for the other southwest states and probably all other states in Nigeria as of now. You need to clap for us. Clap for us. Since the inception of His Excellency Senator Dr. Isiaka Ademola Adeleke Nuruddin in Osun State, Imole, things have taken another turn in Osun State. He's the first governor to actually give the corporate department a ministry of its own. And along with empowerment, you can't do empowerment without cooperative. So cooperative goes along with empowerment of the people in general. So it was a very laudable initiative of His Excellency at his coming to office. As is that time, he also scored another point by becoming the first governor after the late sage Chief Obafemi Awolowo to actually empower the cooperative movement with the sum of 1 billion naira. You are not clapping. In Osun State, that was the promise. But as time goes on, and we discover the number of cooperative societies and cooperators
that we have in Osun State, the money was raised gradually. We are moving up to 3.5 billion now for the cooperative movement in Osun State. And this is because the major problem of cooperatives is funding. Over the years, several governments have come, federal and state, and they have promised that they are going to do something for the cooperative movement. Everybody knows that there is no single household that does not have a cooperator in Nigeria, particularly in the southwest. No single household does not have a cooperator. Now, if you are looking at the population of cooperators, you know that the only way to reach out to the masses at any level at all is to use the instrument of cooperation. Now, in all those modern nations, Kenya and the European countries that we are talking about, the cooperative movement is the bedrock of the economic development. So we cannot do without cooperative either in the state level or at the national level. It is a sector that has been relegated to the background, and we need to go back to basics. Now, during the Western region of the Republic of Nigeria, the First Republic, when we were under the colonial masters, the first ministry that was established was that of cooperative. And at that time, the Registrar General of Cooperative was the most powerful civil servant at that point in time. Because everything that they wanted to do, they do through the cooperative movement. That was how they were able to harness the cooperative produce and marketing unions, which helped them to export our raw cocoa from here to the western regions, like that. So they knew the purpose and the importance of cooperative, and they worked on it strictly.
Ondo State is not doing badly. We have a very good working relationship, most especially between the regulator and the operators. That is the federal, the state Department of Cooperative, and good working relationship with the Ondo State Federation. On that, anything we do, we take collective decisions, and that always makes us to have a very good means of getting to the grassroots. So I want this to be replicated in this program. Secondly, sir, one or two persons have made measure to with this cooperative act. Some 7-8 years ago, all of us conversed at Abuja during the National Council of Cooperative Affairs, and all the 36 states and federal capital territory all agreed that the provision in the Cooperative Act, which have to do with advisory board, should be looked at, visited, and amended to reflect semi-autonomy for the operation of cooperative in the country. I think it started it by trying to repeat that place and amend it. So I want us to please look into that direction again. Cooperative is guided by law. If the law is on ground, there is nothing anybody can do. In my state, if we have a problem with debt and we come to my office, we are like the FCC. We have a very good working relationship with the Ministry of Justice, and with the give us lawyer, we conduct arbitration, we enforce arbitration appropriately. We don't have problem. We drag them to court, we imprison them, we fight their properties, and everybody that want to be after cooperators money are very careful in those states. So that can be replicated. Look to the portion of the law that have to do with arbitration. Work on it very well. It's a very, very mighty power that can be used to protect and preserve the fund of the cooperative. Number 2 is professionalization of our cooperative sector is very important. And I thank God that our national president for Institute of Cooperative Federation of Nigeria, Ibadan, is here. We still want to draw it to your attention. See, most of the sector that are not well professionalized has the problem of running their activities on a very smooth ground. The bill, I think the bill is still at the National Assembly. So my ministers, I want to urge you to help us look into that direction. If there is any means assistance that can be given to the ICOPROM body, so that professionalism can be enacted as a law, so that all the managers, although that will be working with us in the cooperative sectors, should all be certificated, minimum diploma in cooperative studies with required experience. Posting of records will not be a problem. Updating the records and preparing the account will not be a problem if it is being professionalized. So that is a very key factor. Number 4, sir, federal cooperative colleges. It has all the state areas. We have state cooperative colleges, and we always look on to the federal cooperative colleges if there is any way they can carry those while moving because of some challenges we have in the state. So we want to plead. I don't know if the accreditation of the federal cooperative colleges has been achieved. If that is achieved, they can easily, the state cooperative colleges can easily, those that are not be able to accredit, can be able to affiliate at least to the federal cooperative colleges to enhance our cooperative education. It's very, very important.
Now, I will go ahead to tackle 1 or 2 issues. Ours is just to take notes, which I have done. Other people have taken notes on as far as this program is concerned. But I think I will start with the last one. For all intent and purpose, the federal government's way of operation is very straightforward and clear. If you are fully aware that the Federal Department of Cooperative is a federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, are you in doubt? If you are not in doubt, will anybody bring another thing and say it's laying claim to something and you pay attention to it? If there are level issues, that is a different ballgame. So I don't think there is any ambiguity. The Federal Department of Cooperative is in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. And by my schedule as Honorable Minister of State, Agriculture and Food Security, cooperatives is under my supervision. Okay? That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I don't think there is any ambiguity here. So please be guided. This is not something that you pick on the street. All of us as ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not ambiguous in giving us responsibility. Everybody has a task and responsibility. All ministries know their responsibility. But you see, in terms of governance, whatever we're doing here, there are relationships with other elements of the sector. And I think even in discussing here, we've agreed that there are 1 or 2, operators in other ministries, departments, and agencies that may have bearing with what we are doing. And some of the points we raised here is for us to engage them. That's number 1. Some is for us to get more information and to educate our operators so that they are guided in terms of what needs to be done. So I don't think there is any ambiguity here. At any rate, I've noticed this. I've noted what you have said, and I will engage the Honorable Minister of Labour and Productivity on this matter so that we remove any ambiguity. If there are people doing what he is not aware, then his attention needs to be drawn to it. But for effect, the Federal Department of Cooperatives is in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and is the chief operator of that Cooperative Act, as you know it. Okay? Now, having said this, the issue around professionalization, I think I've spoken to that in my keynote. And what has happened is that before now, the issue around professionalization, I think I've spoken to that in my keynote. And what has happened is that before now, maybe there was no interest at the ministerial level. But because of the reform of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, we are convinced that to achieve the kind of cooperative sector we would like to see, we need to have professionals that will be supporting the management of this very, very underutilized sector. And to that effect, any process that has started that we are not aware of, which means we need to be brought into the knowledge of it, take it on board. And somebody talked about the National Council on Cooperative Affairs. Yes, if you call for a council when you have not, shown the vision to stakeholders, you may just end up doing what was done yesterday. But we know we now have a new direction. We now have a chief visionary of the cooperative sector in President Bola Tinubu GCFR under his renewed hope agenda. And I think when we articulate this, as we are doing through this program, then when we finish the stakeholder study tour that is upcoming, and we are back, then we will now be better prepared to call for a National Council on Cooperative Affairs meeting. And I think when I was in Oji River, I made a pledge that when we finish this leg today, and we are able to get proper insight into the issues raised, we will be doing a letter, I will be signing a letter to all the governors of the 36 states of the Federation to bring to their attention this. And we have pathways through which we can interface with the governors, who I also believe will be more than happy and passionate to have successful cooperative sector in their states for the benefit that it will bring to their state's economy. So I don't think there is any conflict. What has happened is that perhaps they are not even aware, they are not well schooled in some of these issues, and it is for us to articulate all of these things and make it available. And subsequently, when we have the National Council on Cooperative Affairs, we will be able to make decisions, because the letter will be to make appeal and seek for understanding and collaboration so that the cooperative sector can be given a pride of place. When we do that, and we now have the National Council on Cooperative Affairs, remember, members of the council are the commissioners in charge of cooperative in their respective states.
I want to thank the minister because I see him as a pragmatic person. When our members are talking of a loan grant, I think we'll be getting it wrong. Now, cooperative has come to the age when it has to be self-reliant and self-sufficient. Now, we are talking of Kenya. Kenya, some years back, came to study the workings of cooperative in Western region in those days. One or two things that they learned, that is what they have been putting into practice. Now, let me first of all, let me inform you that the reason why the cooperative bank eventually went into comatose. The moment the bank went into taking savings from the general public, that was when it started having problems. Because by the time the Central Bank was established in the Central Bank Act was established in 1959, both the ministry that was supervising it and the Central Bank had to be regulating it. And the bank went into violation of some of the banking laws and policies. But because of the politics of Ukuru revenue, we were able to get out of it in those days. So I want a situation here, we want to start a bank, let us do it by ourselves. I think we have held a summit in this Southwest, where we agreed in one of our community that they don't provide that this reserve fund and the exemption from further contribution into reserve fund is allowed in the law. And we agree that about 5% of the surplus should be appropriated to this banking fund. It's only the Your one challenge is that we have not actually followed it up.
I use this medium first and foremost to commend the effort of the Honorable Minister for Agriculture and Food Security, State Minister, Your Excellency, sir. Thank you very much. I happen to know how much effort you are making and your essay to see that you revamp the cooperative system in Nigeria. I happen to be the national cooperative leader, National Agrarian Commodities Cooperatives of Nigeria Limited, which was the first thing to me. I could say that Chief Obafemi Awolowo, after he had died, he appeared to me in 1188. He died in 1987, May 9. So he came to me like a pass. I didn't read cooperative system, neither do I read family, but I read curriculum English in Obafemi Awolowo University in Ibadan. So I did my PhD there. I went all over the globe as a researcher, but His Excellency came to me my France. He said, total restructuring of agriculture and agriculture in Nigeria is my watchword. So from there, I started this particular Agrarian Commodities Cooperatives of Nigeria Limited, making everybody to come into cooperatives, but with agriculturally inclined mind. So our own agricultural cooperatives is into agriculture, agriculture, mining, tourism, and education, and we are managing it up to this particular time. You now ask them to register. As we are registered, we are number 30 in Nigeria. But today we can say that we are very standing, because you are monitoring us, you are giving us enablement to be able to do it. I could not be presidency in silence as well as Tinubu. We know of reason. He now gets the cooperative farming system 1.5 trillion. 1.5 trillion naira into the cooperative Bank of Agriculture from IFA. I was there. We started working with them. So our group, they asked me to ask what I wanted for my group, which are all the groups here. And I requested for 500 billion. And they didn't query me. And even the Bank of Industry also, they gave us 50 billion before, and they raised it to 24 billion. What are we going to use this for? Is it not for food security and food sufficiency under Your Excellency, sir? And they are supporting us. What I want this forum. I want you, sir, to let this forum join Agrarian Commodities Cooperatives of Nigeria Limited, so that everybody, whether you are from Sri Lanka in 1944 or in 1939, that is brought to Western Nigeria near Ibadan. Please come to agriculture. If you come into agriculture, not into trade and credit alone, or not into all these things you have been doing, then come to agriculture and let us address the issue of food security and food sufficiency.
Issue of security, we need it, and we must follow up in anything we are doing. If we are, let's say, issue of trade and credit, we are giving people money. If there is no security, ability to pay back may be a problem. So in Lagos today, today, we have standing, how do I put it, standing policy, intermediary, in between FCC, SFU, we are working together. So we have that one. We have about 10 police working with us for this purpose. So if we can do that, we are ready to help any ministry or any operating sector. We are ready to work with them. We can give them support. We can enlighten them, because when you are talking about accreditation, if you are talking about accreditation, if you are talking of an award, that award cannot work. It cannot work unless you go through the court. It's more or less beginning. So you will go to court because there's not any judge you believe in that award. So you must follow the due process. Whatever anything you are doing concerning the application must follow due process. Either if you are a director or whatever, it's not working and it's not working because it is at a high court. They are listening to the issue of award, but they need to start the process all afresh. So if you want to achieve security, it's very, very important. Thank you.
I have followed up cooperatives either as a child in the home and been in the profession for 25 years. I have not seen a minister in charge of cooperatives that really came this road where you are trying to people. It's not about you staying back in Abuja. It's about you coming to the people to hear from them. And for this, I have a lot of commendations for them. Number two, those spoken about is the need for user to really address the issue of the conflict that has been brought about by the Ministry of Labour. As we speak, there is a department of cooperative in the Ministry of Labour, and it's the same government. And this didn't start with this administration. There is a need for the government to address this holistically, and you can, having heard from us, take this up with your colleague and an effect. And I believe there and then the issue will be brought. There's no controversy that what we have and what we know is that the Department of Cooperative under the Federal Ministry of Agric and Food Security is the enabler of cooperative in Nigeria. And you need to really escalate this and ensure that this matter is addressed once and for all. The third issue is about the Institute of Cooperative Professionals of Nigeria. And good, you are in the Senate, you are in the 9th Senate, when the bill of the institute was passed by the rep and given concurrence by the Senate. But because this happened in the last hour of the administration, it was not assented. We are back and rep has passed it once again. Senate have taken the first reading. We are waiting the concurrence. What I want to put forward is for the Honorable Minister to create an environment for us to really digest the issue on the table.
We actually want to speak for the youth, and according to the theme of today's event, we are actually here to discuss the new role of cooperative reforms, and there are a few things I want to point out. Majority of Nigerian youths don't believe in the cooperative movement, and something needs to be done to this. In some part of Lagos where I come from, a lot of our youth believe cooperative is meant for the whole people. When you tell them about cooperative, the next thing they will tell you is our àgbàlagbà ló ń ṣe. And if we look at most of these scam innovations that have been brought up with young people, you will discover that majority of the investors are the same youth. MMN, you look at most people who were scammed, majority of them were youth, and recently CBS. Why are our youth not finding cooperative worthy of their investment? Rather, they believe in going to these places where they just go there, they look for sharp money, they take their money and they run away. Let me also pick a line from the speech of the Honorable Minister. He said one of the reasons why we are here is to discuss on how to reposition the cooperative movement that will work for us today and tomorrow. And if you ask ourselves, who are the tomorrow of this country? These are the youth. Now, I want to make a suggestion that under this reform, ideas, innovations should be brought up that will encourage the youth to come into the cooperative movement. Over the years, I've already had something on my mind. There is nothing bad in having cooperative societies in our campuses, our universities, our polytechnics. Most of these students, they do businesses among themselves. They sell shoes, they sell bags, they do a lot of businesses, and they have a way of sourcing for funds. If you ask most of them, majority of the funds they use for their businesses are sourced from places where they collect huge interest from them. Even some of our cooperative college like what we have here, there's nothing that stops our students here from having their cooperative, so that they'll be able to start practicing what they are learning in the classroom. So in a nutshell, I want us to start coming up with ideas that will encourage more youth to come into the movement, so that then there will be our future will secure.
Where? Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for what you've been doing for the cooperative movement. I bring good tidings from the Cooperative Federation of Nigeria and from Lagos State Cooperative Federation. I happen to be a member of the ICA Gender Forum representing Nigeria. And I must say that right now at ICA Africa, we are developing a national structure that will be passed down to the different countries, because we discovered that women in cooperatives in the countries, they have the apexes but no wings. In Lagos states and some southwest states generally, we have very strong women in cooperatives, but in other states it's not so. So and there is a disconnect between the states and the federal. So when ICA completes this, I will send it down to the Honorable Minister to assist us with the implementation. But my women, I want to say that we are the builders of the homes. No woman, no nation. So please, we are at ICA Africa, we are working on gender inclusion.
So together, let's do the needful. We know this sector has been abused because we look the other way around. Now our eyes are on here. Let's make sure that as we go back after this training today and tomorrow, whatever we learn here, let's take it back to our members. And I assure you we're going to give all our maximum support and ensure that the cooperative sector is in the list of every community in Nigeria by the grace of God. That is the promise of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, because his renewed agenda is for food security, poverty eradication, economic growth, inclusivity, access to capital, and there is no better sector to attend to this altogether, including anti-corruption and even security, because what is the cause of insecurity? Lack of work, lack of job. With cooperative society, a lot of activities are planned and executed by members, and everybody is engaged, everybody is busy. So let's do this, because we have a sector that is like a panacea for all of these things. On this note, and on my behalf and my team, I want to thank you most sincerely for coming here today, and please I urge you to stay for the rest of the program, and tomorrow where you also have your lectures, please take it very seriously. We will make sure we take advantage of what we are doing to create more programs of training and capacity development for cooperative sector.
You're welcome to this project site. This is the project site for the proposed Cooperative Innovation and Empowerment Center. It's a story building that has about 7 large offices. It has conference room that has capacity of about 450, and it has a hall that can take up to 200. That has 200 capacity. The offices, out of the 9 offices, we have about 7 of them in suites, spread on the 1st and the 2nd floor and the ground and 1st floor. It has a reception and a lot of ancillary spaces, the conveniences, office, lobby. The lobby connects the entire space with the 2 exit staircases. So you are welcome once again.
Yes, before we proceed, I have 1 or 2 questions. You said it's Center for
Cooperative Innovation and Empowerment Center.
Cooperative Innovation and Empowerment Center. And the innovation there, are you creating a cooperative innovation hub?
Well, yes, the innovation there is for incubation. When you have farmers, training of farmers.
See, why this is very important for me is the question that youth asked in the hall. He said a number of youths are not finding cooperatives attractive. So if you are talking about innovation, youths are at the heart of innovation. And so I would love a situation where what you are doing here is that you'll be creating a cooperative innovation hub within that center where youths can come in and curate and ideate and create ideas that falls into the realm of cooperative operations. And from there, they can take through. And that's why I'm saying, based on what you are doing, that is something you should consider, because we are in the process of the reform now. We are just here to put the foundation. So let the foundation be that we are answering the youth. So the Cooperative Innovation and Empowerment Center will be having a youth cooperative innovation hub in this college.
And it is a hub for all
and it's for the youth. It's targeting the youth, whether male or female. That's what is important as a message to go out. And so when you come to do that, in the process, if you need to make some amendments to accommodate the youth and the way they want to operate, these Gen Zs, if you don't take care of what they want, they will leave you with your space and go somewhere. Because it is for them. It's not for you and me. I can see you are having gray hair. It's not necessarily a show of maybe you are old, but all of us here, majority of us do not fall into category of those. These ones are, you understand? So please, that's my own advice. It's for you to take it in. The management is here. You are here. Every project that is conceived can be tweaked along the line. So please do the tweaking, but accommodate the fact that the youth ask a critical question here. We are here in the field and we are providing solution. That is the spirit.
Exactly, we have actually made it flexible. Alright. The spaces we call conferences can actually.
Well, if you understand what I'm saying,
I understand the point.
Including where they may come and play some indoor games.
Exactly.
It's true that's why I'm saying create the ambience. Then they can come in through there, and then that's where innovation comes in. Okay? It's true that they are able to innovate. Can't we do this? What is cooperative? It's just about 10 people. By the act, when you have 10 people coming together, a cooperative is formed. And a circle of friends, sometimes all these Gen Zs, they have more than 10 circle of friends. I'm back.
I Anywhere we are doing a part, it's in love, one way love, like I did love. Oh, we know up to the break of them, baby love. Oh, guess that you owe money, call your party them, they could like anybody. Take it just day, yeah, they won't follow Judy. Party, jolly, jolly, party, with the body, make you shot curry, make your eye dirty. From now till eternity. Hey, don't go so, too cold. You collect salary, Kamari, give me my domo. My day you me before I play low. Don't be me, you know. I'm a ghetto soldier. Kaki no be leather. Every Friday, bust and brass bar. Not no doubt to that kind of weather. Life too short to know. Nobody knows tomorrow. That's the way I sorrow. Do like what tomorrow. Hey, money speaking. Any idea? Waiting. Shut up.
We are putting this foundation stone for this cooperative innovation and empowerment center in the Federal Cooperative College, Ibadan, Oyo State, so that the Nigerian youth can be mobilized into the cooperative movement.
I want to thank you specially, distinguished Honorable Minister of State Agric and my boss for giving us this opportunity. Myself, my women and the leadership of Southwest Farmers Cooperative Commodity Organization would like to present to you our roadmap and also some gifts from all the top commodities that we are known for in Southwest. Like I have gifts from the Cocoa Association, we have from fishery, we have from maize, we have from, yes, these are the gifts. This is to say thank you for all you do for Southwest, especially this our Oyo State. And also, I will now leave the mic for my daddy, my leader, the people that showed us what is in the agricultural sector. Our chief, Akosile from Ekiti State. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Minister, we are representing the Southwest Commodity Farmers Organization. We have developed a roadmap which we will be willing to give to you, which says everything about all the commodities, both arable, both cash crop, both livestock. And we are presenting you the roadmap which will be willing to move it at the later stage of budget at a proper time for us to deliberate on it. We have this for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me say this. What we are out to do is to support everybody at every level. For example, you remember the office of the First Lady came up with agricultural programs where we're talking about every home, a garden, young farmers club. All of these are pockets of areas where if people produce and they have food, do they go to market? So the pressure on commodities in the market will be low. The price can be stable. That is what we are driving at. So everybody is important. And as far as this is concerned, you know one of the agenda items of President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda is inclusivity, which means everybody should be carried along. Nobody should be left behind. So no matter how small you are, no matter whatever you represent, our take is for the agricultural sector, we should create a space for you to participate. thank you for what you are doing. Keep it on. The rains are here. We are talking in the rain. I'm a farmer, that's why I'm not afraid of the rain. There's other people who are not farmers that will be afraid of the rain. If rain does not come, is there going to be farming? Even if we are doing irrigation farming, can we continuously do irrigation farming without when there is no rain? So we keep praying for more rain, but most importantly, let's go back to the farm and plant. From the home, every home a garden. From the schools, Young Farmers Club, encourage your children who are in school to join Young Farmers Club so that they will learn the art of farming. Farming is where you can reap and reap and reap and live. And somebody will come and reap and reap and reap and reap. So let's not abandon farming, and together we shall be part of that prosperity President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has promised. That somebody failed the exam yesterday should not stop us from going to write exams today. Is that not correct? But we will learn the mistakes that made them to fail, and we'll make sure we are not failing. And I want to assure you that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not here to fail, but to take Nigeria to a high level of growth and prosperity. Now, you asked a question about what we expect. What we're expecting is a reform and revamped cooperative sector that will contribute to economic development and prosperity of the citizens. And the cooperative sector has this advantage because the business model of the cooperative sector is not to go for massive capital for the investors, but to cater for the welfare of its members. And if you look at the agricultural sector, it's the mainstay of the Nigerian economy. So if we organize cooperative sectors and we're able to have professionals who will help them to manage it, and this is where the professionalization of the sector is important. When you have cooperative societies, they will need cooperative managers, administrators, accountants, and marketers who will help them to run the cooperative business. And this is where we are interested in. And when you talked about the cooperative bank that was here and failed, fortunately, I think the president of the Odua Cooperative Society shared with us why they failed. And that's why I was emphasizing that the cooperative banks we are talking about is not the conventional commercial bank. We're talking about cooperative society for cooperative bank for cooperative societies that will be managed and run by cooperators who are experts in the various areas of cooperative banking. And there are models all over the world for us to learn from, and that's why our experts and other stakeholder members will be going to Kenya to learn from what the Kenya Cooperative Bank is all about. And somebody is telling us already, like Ogun State had gone to see what is in Germany. We are also aware of the German model. But one of the reasons why we choose the Kenya model is because their socio-economic environment is closer to the socio-economic environment of Nigeria. So if it's working in Kenya, we believe we'll be able to borrow more things that will make it work in Nigeria. German is a bit advanced, we can learn from them, but not everything. So, but we'll take a note of what they have said and see if we can even learn from whatever they have learned, so that it will help us in this process. At any rate, the people mentioned in that study tour are also critical stakeholders in what we are doing. So at the time we'll be bringing this up, it will be open and we'll take in expert advice and input from everybody who is in the cooperative ecosystem. So we are hopeful that with the rate at which we are going, Nigeria should expect a revamped, a reformed cooperative sector that will be full of integrity, transparency and accountability, and that we manage the deposits of members in the most professional and ethical manner in line with cooperative principles and values. That is what we are promising them, because the laws itself will be looked into, regulations will be made, and will be be also taking in data so that we are guided. Okay, so these are the things I want to assure you. Even if you are awarding degree, people have BSc accounting. Has it stopped them from becoming ACCA? That's professionalism. So that's what we are saying. When they are chartered, the reason being chartered is that you are taking through certain rudiments that will make it possible for you to be able to provide service in the best form. And for the cooperative sector, it's not everybody who understands cooperative. You come in and want to go and place their money in a place where you make big money. I will say something, and those who are having the knowledge of what I've said, we know what happened. Some people went to prison because of such kind of things. You take cooperative money and go and put it in the wrong business. No, it's not allowed. Cooperative is a model, and if you stick to the model, it will serve you better. And that's why countries that we are mentioning here have stuck to the cooperative model. That's why it's working for them.
He has actually put the right step in the right direction by bringing in cooperative society, cooperative movement into the renew hope agenda. Because over the years we never had this like this. But however, with this new initiative, a lot of cooperative movement, a lot of cooperative society going to have a lot of leverage. I mean, having a lot of leverage with the government, the federal government. Because over the year, by now we should have had our own cooperative university. Kenya had their own, Namibia had their own, but Nigeria we haven't. And with this new inclusion of the federal of the initiative of federal minister, I think a lot of things we're going to be put in place. A lot of things will have to be done. We have to be at our own, even from our primary society. A lot of things have to be done. We should see cooperative as a business nowadays, not chips and credit society anymore. We should see it as a business, take it as a business, and of course do things that we encourage inclusivity between the members and the executive. So going forward, a lot of with this new initiative, things are going to turn. We are actually going to turn a new turn in the wheel of the event.
We as a farmer, what we are expecting from the government to assist our cooperative so that they can empower our farmers in various aspects of our types of farmers that we are doing. For the ministers, this is the first time that he's doing this. He's doing a wonderful job, and he assists the Mr. President too, to eradicate the poverty and the food security in Nigeria. So it is working very well and is working perfectly, and to assist our farmers. This is not the first time. They have did it in north and east and the south. This is our west now.
Very happy to have looking for today, and the witness of the day's program for today is 28. It's a 2-day training, but I'm very happy to meet a lot of people in agriculture and in talking about cooperatives in Nigeria, especially in Nigeria and Oyo State investment. But I'm very believe that everything must be go gradually, and some people has been ready to join in this agriculture and commercial and everything. I believe that Nigeria must be moved forward. In Oyo State, we have been moving forward I'm talking about agriculture and cooperative. The message you have been sending to the Honorable Minister that has been trying to help those people in commercial, in agriculture and everything, because the expectation of the people has been coming here, that has been ready to watch, and in promise of those people has been coming here to development of the state and the Nigeria.
Cause we are leaders of tomorrow. We are making